morning, race fans. It is May 6, 2023. We're now coming into the third practice of the Miami Grand Prix. This is Crash, and I want to welcome you all to Race Statistics. Thank you for showing up already, listening to the music. We're about 4 minutes before the start of the session. Again, F1 TV is going through the opening sequence of their theme at the moment, so... how are you guys all doing? Again, it's been an interesting first day. What we've learned so far from the track is basically it is very slippery out there. They're rubbering things in, but it's still low grip. Wanted to say hello again, everyone. Where are you guys coming from? Just because we've got about 1,000 of you watching right now. I'm curious where we are watching from today. We got someone who said from Mordor. You, sir, need to take a shower, wash off all that dirt. We've got from UK, India, Portugal, Los Angeles. Trader says it's awesome having F1 at normal times from North America. Yes, it is. As someone who's from the United States as well, I'm in North Texas. Jose is from South Texas. We are equally different away from Coda. We've got watching from England, Australia, Scotland, more from India. We got from France. Discussion about Red Bull. I want to tell you right now that the Red Bull car is a legal car. I don't know where these people are getting this. It's illegal. If it was illegal, it wouldn't be on track. And like again, you want to complain about the cost cap breach that was last year. Kind of get with the times. That's old news. If you want to use that against this car, like you kind of like you missed the boat by like several months there, my friend. So kind of move on from that and deal with the scenario. I mean, the scenario that is that Red Bull has a penalty against development and wind tunnel time, and that's going to affect this car later this season and into next season. So, yeah, Adrian Newey actually has a new contract with Red Bull. He's going to stay with Red Bull for a much longer time. They just re-upped his contract. So, Red Bull's got what they've got right now. They figured out what this car should be doing right now, and the other teams are trying to catch up to what they are doing. So about a minute or so before cars get onto track. And right now we're showing Elon Musk in the Red Bull garage. It's like that is Max is now climbing into his car. Yeah, no one has actually. We don't see anyone who's pulled out of the garage just yet, which is typical. So we're about to start, and I don't think anyone's pulled out of the garage as of yet. There's no one's lined up. There are several drivers are in the car getting prepared. You got shot of Science, shot of Alonso right now, but nothing as of yet. Norris is not in his car. He's not even have his helmet on. He's talking with techs and other people. And this again, typical of FP3 that not everyone goes out right away. Luis Monartes says hello from Brazil. Thank you very much. Any chance of rain today? There is a 40% rain chance, but it is going to be later in the afternoon, more closer to qualifying, like 2, 3 p.m. is what the U.S. National Weather Service was reporting when I last looked. And we do have Ocon on track right now. He's the only one on track. See who else. Only Ocon is out on track right now. Let's take a So you got any questions in chat, drop them in at me. I'll try and get to them as I can. Well, thank you for we had over 300 likes so far. Thank you so much for those likes. Because Lindsay is listening from England. Thank you very much. And here comes Hamilton out the gate, and I believe that's Stroll in front of him. Alonso Stroll, and I believe, yeah, those Verstappen's not. He's on top of the board. He's not out yet. I'm trying to give you guys some data, but there's not much going on as of yet. So one of the news stories that's coming out is that Brad Pitt is going to, quote, join the F1 action. Basically, what's going to happen is that he's going to be driving um, in an F1 car. I think it's an F2 car is when it was updated. But basically, he's going to be driving on tracks during F1 weekends, basically as to build, I think, filming data for the F1 film that Hamilton is involved with. So this is basically so if you guys saw Top Gun Maverick, the team that made that film is doing the F1 film, and Brad Pitt is apparently the lead role in that film. So Ocon's already said, he set first one out, set the standard. He's got a 131.125 so far. We had about, I think, a couple seconds faster in FP2. And we saw that I think a second or so faster in FP1 yesterday. So this is a good, setting the bar moment. Hamilton is setting a fast time right now. So one of the things that's going on right now, so Ocon is setting his times on mediums right now. Hamilton, Sainz, and Clerk are on softs. We are in the middle of the afternoon of, it's 12:35 in Miami right now. So one of the things that we're dealing with is that we're getting into the afternoon, this afternoon sun. So the track is going to be warmer now than it will be maybe in a few hours. So that's something to take into account. That this has been one of the questions: is do the teams have the data they need for the race? Because the times they've driven in, particularly in FP1 in this session, are not going to be representative of the time during the race itself. So, with those of you who are watching, so basically the track that they're running on right now is basically on roads that service the stadium itself. So, as you see, a couple shots, there are bridges, like there are connectors, basically coming into the stadium area, and they are next to a highway. So there was a shot just a few minutes ago on F1 TV, them showing, I believe it was a science, and it was a long shot, and you could see the highway that goes by the stadium. So science just set a new fastest time of 1:31:7:48. Lose our asked in chats. I was out of the loop this week. Did any team upgrades? The only upgrades that I know of are from Ferrari. Um, And Leclerc takes a P2 with a 1:31:05. So it is basically the scenario that's going on is Ferrari brought a small upgrade to their floor. Um, let me see. Stroll's come back into the pits, so it looks like he was doing an installation lap. We still have Verstappen is doing an out lap. But like most of the drivers, like Sargent, Norris, Mason, DeVries, Sonodas, Albin, Zhao, Hulkenberg, Russell, Bottas, Piastri have not even gone out. They've just no time. They haven't even said they haven't got on track yet. So Ocon takes a top place of a 1:34:71. Gasly goes faster, 0.229. So it's a 0.172 faster for Gasly. Perez lighting up the board with purples right now. I'm just looking at what you guys have been saying the last moment or so. And Perez sets up 1:29:266, so whole second faster than Gasly's lap. Still nowhere near. They were, I think, much lower in P2, so we're still setting early laps. So still only less than 9 minutes have gone in the session. Yeah, this is one of the things that we know about this track. The grip is not particularly there. One of the problems, again, it's a street circuit, and one of the problems that we have here is that um, it's not a track that is used on a regular basis. Being a street, it's not used on a regular basis. So the track is getting rubbered in right now. And so, yesterday, we had lot of lot of sliding going on with the cars. It's because it was no grip. We should see better grip today, given that they've rubbered in two practice sessions plus the other events that have gone on yesterday. Plus so then we get to this session, another event getting into quality. We should see better grip. Should improvement, but it is a technical challenge for the drivers in that regards in terms of grip. one of the things that they just say they need to rub the track in. I mean, that's hard because they just resurfaced the track. Um, and so what? And then again, on top of that, about a few weeks, I would say about a month ago, Miami suffered some flooding, and there was there was some part of the track that was under a bit of water for a little while. So they're doing, there's only so much rubbering that they can do on that, the much they can do on this track before they just run cars on it. Verstappen has gone to P1 with a 128.963, and Leclerc has gone to P2 with a 129.057. It's interesting. There are a lot of Miami has brought out a lot of faces. Notably early on, um, sorry. So earlier on, basically the Red Bull garage had Elon Musk in it, but a familiar one of the former team principals for McLaren was in the garage. Is been spotted in the garage as well. Russell out on track for the first time right now. So far, the Alfa Romeos, the Alpha Tauris, Williams, McLaren, and Haas have not got out on track. Lance and Alonso, the Aston Martins have been on track, but they haven't set a time. So over half the grid has not set a time yet, which is interesting. Yeah, and again, Diane's mentioning that Max is second behind the track FT record, which was a 127.930, which was set yesterday in FP2. So it's interesting which teams are out doing on track and which teams are still in the garage. So again, we're only about 15 minutes into the session, so we will probably see more cars come out in a little bit. So I'm just reading through chat right now. Yeah, Hamilton's still having Lacos. Is that something? Zhao is on track now. So the first of the Alpha and Bottas is on track now. Bottas has set a time of 129.9, and Zhao is now finishing up his lap now. De Vries is on track now. Alonso setting a fastest sector 1 right now. And Zhao jumps to a P10 with a 131.1. So we'll follow along, keep an eye on Alonso, what he's doing right now. Perez is going to set a fast sector 2. The duel between he does with Verstappen taking a fastest sector 1, going about 3/10 faster, about 2.5, about a quarter. I'd say actually a quarter second faster than Alonso in sector 1. Gasly improves his time, but it stays into P3. Perez about to come to the end of his lap, and he jumps to P1 with a 128.6. So about 3/10 faster than his teammate Verstappen. Though he's still on a fast lap right now. He's just finished up a fast sector 2 faster. So he's got faster sector 1 and sector 2. We'll see how he does in sector 3. Alonso jumps to P3 with a 129.09. Stroll is on a fast lap. He's improving on his times, not in any fast sectors. And Verstappen jumps to P1 to a 127.969. So Verstappen and Perez are on softs. Alonso's on mediums. Stroll is on softs, and he sets a time of 130.226. Norris, Albon are on track. De Vries is setting his first time, but he's not improving on any particular of his times. He may be still doing it on an out lap. Zhao is on a slow lap as well as Ocon. Gasly is he's on a about to finish a lap, but it's not a. It's probably a slow down lap for him at this moment. Yeah, I know that someone just said that. Um, yeah, it's someone saying that Max is fake champion. No, the history books will tell you wrong. Will always tell you wrong. Sorry, my friend. I'm looking through chat. You guys have been some bad boys. Haas has not gone out. No, Haas has not gone out yet. They're the only team that has. Norris has not gone out. Albon has not gone out, and then the two Haas's have not gone out yet. Actually, Norris and Albon are on track, but haven't set a time yet. They're on their first fast laps. So Leclerc has gone P2 with a 128.627. So he is about a tenth and change faster than Leclerc. But nowhere near, yeah, like Verstappen is over almost 7.7, 0.6 to 0.7 tenths faster than everyone else already. He's gone out, did that lap, has come back in. So we're now following along with Hamilton. He's coming to his lap, and he did a 128.2. That puts him P11 right now. Nico hasn't come out yet, Mercedes. That's pretty much what's happened so far. Maurice, can you give me more feedback on what's wrong with my mic? With something I may have to plug it out, plug it out, and plug it back in. There might be something in the way. I don't think we have any data from the FP3. No, the map is working. I'm sorry, the map is. It was frozen. It was not. We weren't getting data for a moment. So we get to about 20 minutes into the session. What are your, oh, Carlos is going off track. So, what are your predictions for this race? I really don't know what to think because the track is so slippery, slidey. Um, my best bet that there will be some chaos on lap one, but I don't know who it's going to affect. I know there will probably be one or two cars that there's a pinch. I'm going to predict there's going to be at least two cars that will go out on lap one. There'll be some sort of crash, but I don't know if it's going to be. I can see that's easy to say. I just don't know if it's going to be at the front of the grid or back of the grid. We have a poll right now: who will qualify higher? And it's between Gasly and Ocon. Which of the Alpines? I think I'm going to go with Gasly. You guys, I'm just not to skew the vote. Well, 60-70% are saying that it's going to be Gasly. The other third going with Ocon. And Hulkenberg is now on track. Magnussen did the first lap of he's P7, second and a quarter behind Verstappen. Ooh, that is controversial. Daniel Kelly is going to is picking Perez P1, Fernando P2, Lewis P3, and Max of a DNF. Ooh, that is controversial. But that would be very entertaining because that means Sergio would go ahead of Max on on championship points. Oh, and that would, oh boy, if you've liked when you like Max when he's angry, ooh, we're gonna get a very angry Max with that one. I'm getting on board with Albon right now as he comes across, and he goes off track. No, no, Harry. Basically, someone was predicting that Max might have a DNF for their prediction for this race. If we saw that if that were to happen, that would be an interesting development to the championship points. Prize is coming in the pits, trying to see who else. We right now we've got a couple going on. Sainz with the fastest sector 2 right now. Ooh, and he goes P2 with 128, 125. So Max is the only one that's broken into the 127. So Zoe improved on his time, but he's only up to a P17. Why is Max happening so much quicker? No, he's just in he's just in pure form right now. He's just that much better than everyone else right now. Even in the same car, even with Perez in the same car. I don't. And again, Red Bulls know what they figured out how to get the most performance out of their car, and everyone else is still scrambling to figure that out. No, the gaps between the not sure why the gap is not. I'm not sure what it's showing on the screen right now. So the Breeze has jumped up to a P11, Sonota P13. They're in the 129s. Everyone's pretty much are on who's on track right now are using soft, with the exception of Gasly and Ocon, so the two Alpines. And both of them have gone about 8 and 9 laps respectively. The only other people who have done more have been Russell with 8 on softs, Bottas 8 on softs, and then Alonso Stroll. Well, Alonso just hit the 7th lap, so 7 and 6 for Alonso Stroll on softs. So again, as we hit the halfway mark uh, of of this session, again, I want to thank you all for coming and watching here on Race Statistics. I know you've got other choices, almost 2,000 of you. We appreciate that you've shown up. Again, this is Scratch. It's just me today, so this is why you're seeing spots of me talking, then stopping, and then talking again because I'm trying to get information for you. Normally, I have someone to bounce. Last few times I've had people bouncing to bounce off of. Magnan just reporting that the wind is gustier than yesterday, so that's something to keep an eye on because that will affect how the cars, particularly like a Williams, that gust, if it's not blowing in the right direction on them, that will affect that car dramatically. So something to keep an eye on. Showing now, there's a shot of they just had a shot of Miami, looking over the track into Miami, and it's an overcast day. It's partly cloudy with a bit of an overcast in the distance, and that's basically they're by the sea. That's to be expected. Victoria picking out that Danny Rick is great for PR for Red B, so it's a win-win because he wanted to break. Yeah, he pretty much really wanted to break. Um, he is doing work for the team as the reserve driver, and he's in the simulator. He's doing that type of work as well, but he's doing a lot of PR work, which fits in really nicely. So if you guys have been watching any of the uh, coverage from the track, you will see there's a section of the track that has basically it's a white background with black text called Cambridge. They're a money management type company. How do money? How do you save for college and pay? That stuff, financial stuff. What's interesting is that Cambridge is a IndyCar sponsor as well, and they are the primary sponsor on Colton Herta's car. So it's interesting to see that they have popped up here in a prominent role, normally not within their, here at F1. So, Playum, I can't pronounce your name, but you're saying rain tomorrow can make anything interesting. That are probably our best hope for decent race. There could be other reasons why, but there's a 60. The last F1's weather report put it at around 60%. Again, we're expected to get thunderstorms through the area after 2 p.m. So about after this, so an hour from now in Miami time, there's a potential for thunder clouds to come through the area. So it could affect if again, we'll have to keep an eye on the forecast. Um, it could affect quality if it comes through during that time. They could come through tomorrow as well, so that's something keep an eye on. Again, Miami's right next to the coast. Weather like to come off the coast, come off from the sea, the coast can happen very easily. Max has improved his time to 127.669. Faster sector 1, fastest sector 3. Improved on his sector 2 time, but he doesn't have the fastest sector. So, you guys have any? Do you guys have any questions about what is going on? Please drop in the chat. Trying to make this a conversation between me and you. Making this as a watch along, trying to make this already like we were all sitting around on the couch watching this type feel. Jose's reporting Gasly's Rayos picked up a bit of understeer. So Sainz and Perez are on outlaps right now. Leclerc is still on track. Hulkenberg is still on track, and Tsunoda is still on track as we get past that halfway mark. If you've come and didn't hit the start of the session, if you haven't hit like right now, that'd be great. We're at 4:30. We could probably get break over 500 pretty quickly. For those of you who haven't hit, it helps us with the channel that you hit it. If you have not subscribed, why have you not subscribed? Come back. If you're enjoying this and you're coming back, uh, hit that bell. You'll know when we go live. We go live frequently. Actually, lately we've been going live a lot early with a great set of music before the session comes in, before I come in for commentary. And then finally, if you are more interested, go grab the link. We have a Discord chat. We have Discord server. I'm going to drop that link in the chat. And if you want to come and join us after the sessions, between race, after the weekend, between races, come join the chat. It's active, throughout the week. People are making comments. We're dropping something. We have a joke channel. Our media channel has become a joke channel. Mr. Lollipop. Shows up on a regular basis with his videos in there. So Perez has just jumped to a P3, jumping ahead of Leclerc. He's 128.193. Schedule Jet Gabriel Max is King of America. Dude, America has no king. I know what you're trying to say, but no. No, he's done well in the United States. Spaces, what compound is Leclerc is on? He's on a soft compound. You can see that both Sainz and Leclerc have gone 13 laps on those softs. So that's so they're doing a long run on those softs. And I think Perez is doing a long run on softs as well. Um, why can't you donate? It may be that the channel right now, the video right now is in a we're having issues with we've had issues with what seems to be FIA management, F1 management taking down watch-alongs. So you should be able to, if you want to donate now, you should be able to now. Now following along with Russell on it, he's improved on his sector one, um, though half second slower than Verstappen's sector one. Looks like he is. So he's complaining about vibrations through the steering rack. So he's aborted that run, or has he? Um, so so Russell does about 129.22. I think who else is so Sainz of course still on their long run. Gasly's now coming out on track. Hamilton's coming out on track. Again, Russell, and then everyone else is in the pits. It's interesting because George had issues with his steering wheel yesterday, and he spent the first half of that FP1 in about half in the garage. He was about to come on track, and then the red flag happened. Okay, I thought it was only Russell that was having vibration issues. Yeah, but who else is reporting? Who that's what I'm asking. Is not that they're I'm not denying that they're he's not the only one. I just want to know who else is reporting because I don't know. Hamilton just jumped to a P5 with a 128.724. Gasly's on a fast lap right now. He's improved in his first sector. And we're looking at so Gasly's just jumped to P4 with 128.487. While Charles on slow for all of a sudden, Charles is on is right now on a long run. So you look at him. He's done 17 laps on soft tires. So he's on a long run right now. He's heavy with fuel to do a race simulation basically. and they're basically seeing how far these soft tires can go. Really, I mean, this is, and science is doing the same thing with the soft tires. They're both seeing they're trying to get data on the soft tire. Where is how long can it go? They're trying to. It's a race simulation, so they're not doing a quality simulation. And they're just trying to see how far that these tires can push, and that's the only thing of what everyone. And at this point, everyone else who's on track is on softs at this point. Larcon's just jumped to a P10 with a 129.064. And we're about 18 minutes left in the session right now. And again, everyone is pretty much like pushing on soft tires right now. Mercedes is pointing out Norris should be higher up in the field by now. By ooh, as we talk about him, he goes off the track and ooh. So Norris passes, I think, Gasly in the Alpine, and then he goes through the chicane and he loses the back end of the car, and it shifts back and forth. He goes off track. He manages to get control of the car. He does not end up in the wall, but it was a moment there. At the moment, as we were talking about him, and that's more respective of him as his talent. If it was anyone lesser experienced, it probably would have gone to the wall. And the point I was trying to make about Norris is right now is that talent-wise, he's much more talented. He should be. Again, take into account that he may be testing something right now. But like in general, he's a better driver than his performance in terms of points has shown up, and that's just a function of the McLaren car is a mid pack car, and that mid pack has been bunched up. You've got they were fine with Alpine, but Williams has moved up dramatically. And so there's a much bigger fight. Again, Aston Martin has jumped into the top tier. We've got the front of the pack is it's Red Bull number one, and then it's the next three. It's a fight between Ferrari, Mercedes, and Aston Martin. And then the next tier is you got Williams in that tier, you've got McLaren in that tier, and you've got Alpine in that tier. And it's just tough. This is one of the interesting that fact right there. And you've got Haas appearing in that tier every so often. So we've got like two big tiers of like teams that are doing that could pop up and be massive each week. And again, we've got 4 teams at the top that are pushing out all the other teams. They're going to look at what we have said in chat right now. Yeah, L walks. I can't pronounce your name. My apologies, my friend. It's going to be a contested fight to make Q3 later on. Definitely is. Q3 is going to be tough. For teams to get into. The fact that we're seeing Albon get into Q3 on a regular basis is a big deal. The fact that again that Aston Martin is in there is a big deal. It kind of leaves like one more spot in that top 10 for Q3. Max just set a new time, 127.595. About that was about 10th faster than his previous time. So we're in the 13 minutes left in this session. Pretty much everyone's getting out on track at this point. The only difference is that the Ferrari's coming to the pit. They just did a long stint, so it's going to be a while before they come back out. But they probably will. Hulkenberg is in the pit, and so it's just Ferrari and Haas are in the pits right now. Everyone else is on track or on an outlap as it is. Ooh, Stroll's getting looks like he hit one of the curbs and that bounced him in a weird way. What's happened to Sonoda? He is not set up to. I mean, he's down in the bottom of times. The part of the problem with the AlphaTauri car is not very good. It is probably the worst car on the grid this season, and it's affected. Tsunoda basically is trying to eke out what he can from that car. De Vries is just struggling with that car, which is amazing because he put the Williams into points. So it probably showed how strong the Williams was actually in comparison to the drivers they had last year. So he actually jumps up to a 128.4. Behind him is Bottas, 128.4. The Alfa Romeos, that's a team that is they pop their head out of the sand every so often. Right now, they do well. Albon is in P6, 128.64. Ocon is in P12, 128.83. Those are the new times that are on the board right now. Improvements on previous times. Yeah, the Alpine has looked really good today, and that puts it interesting. Aston Martin, they're based kind of like shuffling between them and Aston Martin at the moment. Albon P6. Albon, where did Hamilton jumps to P9. Mercedes not looking so particularly strong today, which is interesting. Part of the problem with what Mercedes is doing is that, like, they have to, normally in the past, what they would have done is they would have just brought a whole new car, just built in, the parts, whatnot, built a new car, brought it to track. And under the cost cap now, they can't do that. They can't just flat out like they could design the whole new car, but and even that's maybe a possibility of them not. But they have to then they just can't just design the next generation of the car within the season. Um, they just can't design. Figure out what the problem is, design it, and bring it to the track as they would in the past. The cost cap doesn't allow them to do it, and that's one of the things about why we're seeing. So we take Red Bull out of the equation. We've got a huge fight for a second through fourth, and then another fight from fourth through eighth. We've got two packs of teams that are fighting for position, which if you stop looking at Red Bull at the top and you start looking down below at those other fights, things get really interesting. And we've just hit 10 minutes left to go in the session. Jose, question is, I wonder how the tires are holding up with this scorching tap temperature. That's a good question for Ferrari at this point, because they just went out and did a heavy race run on softs. They did at least 17 laps on those softs, so that's something. See what Ferrari doing. Having said that, Leclerc is coming out on an outlap right now. Magnussen out, improving on his times. Verstappen just set a new, I think said, another 10th, 1.27.53, another 10th for Verstappen just dropped. Magnussen just jumped to 128.6. Hulkenberg's out on a flying lap, but he has not improved on his first sector. Stroll on a flying lap, about to finish his lap, has improved his time only to P12, 128.723. Again, Max Verstappen has improved in his time. 0.06 is what you're saying. So he was in a point. He was a 127.6 before. He's now a 127.5, 523, 535 specific. So that's again an improvement is an improvement. Leclerc out there with a 128.519 on, again, what would be new soft tires too. Ferrari must be testing something, because we know Leclerc is fast, and he's not going as fast as he possibly could. There must be a reason why he's not going for that pure fast speed. Like Lando, looks like Lando had another lockup moment. Hulkenberg on a flying lap. He's improved in Sector 1, Sector 2. He's about to finish the lap. We'll take a look at what's going on. Tsunoda yelling about understeer from his car. And Hulkenberg finishes his lap, and he goes to a 128.47. Arcon improved his time at 128.4. Magnussen now from P11 is a 128.66. Alonso did a P12, 128.618. With Alonso being that particular, so either something's going on with the car, because he's only 2 places higher than Stroll. Either something's going on with the car, or they're testing something on the car, so he's not necessarily getting the fastest time. And we're about to come in about 5 minutes. We're about 5 minute change left in this session. I think one of the storylines going in is, again, how, like, people are, like, if say Checo were to win this race and jump ahead of Max, that would put him in the title contention, definitely. Sargent is on his radio. He's talking about the balances all over the place, and he's struggling to drive the car at the moment, which does not, he's down in P16, which is not helpful in terms of, placing, getting, that's not a particularly, he's been struggling. He has not performed as we would expect. He needs a, given this is his true home race, he really does need a performance here. So as we get under 4 minutes to go, questions. I know someone is calling Nick DeVries, aka Nick DeCrash, as the new Latifi. I don't think he's at that point yet. It's too early to make that assessment. Um, Again, he basically, Latifi is no longer in F1 because DeVries jumped into the Albon's car and crushed him. That's not even a fair comparison given what happened, how Latifi went out. He needs to step up. That's definitely an argument that he definitely needs. Again, he's a more older driver with a pedigree behind him. He is an F2 champion. He is an F3 champion. Sorry, not FE champion. Um, so so I expected a better performance from him. Granted, we found that the AlphaTauri car is not very good. The fact that Yuki is getting any points, and he's just jumped up. As I speak of him, he jumps up to P16 with a 129.179. Yeah, the fact that Tsunoda's getting any points at all is pretty amazing. That shows a jump in performance in Yuki. And I didn't think Yuki was going to make that next step. So, yeah, so that's very good. So as we get to about 2.5 minutes left, we've got Verstappen in the garage, Ocon, Gasly, Bottas, Albon, Alonso, Hamilton, Zhou, Sargent, and Norris. Well, Norris is now coming out, but these are the ones that are in the pit. We should see several of them come back out, mostly so that they can do lap 2 per round, but also to do a practice start, which is hugely important. So we should see several outlap cars coming for an outlap in the next minute or so. Yeah, Alonso Pueso, he is down. So he is down in P12. He's in the garage. And that is a good question. Why he is not up in the top? He normally is up in the top, and he's not. And it may be, Aston Martin is testing something. That they know what they need to do to the car, but they're for quality, but they're trying to figure out what they should be doing for the race itself. I'm going to move on from that. Someone has a coronation flag. Oh, that's fine. We're in the United States. Please remind said person that we fought a Revolutionary War to be free from said crown. Yeah. So again, FP3 is pretty much come to a close at this point. Again, you guys, if you have not given it a like to we're about 475. We can get 25 more people to like this. Again, if you've not joined, if you're not subscribed, you won't know when we go live again. And it'll be easier for you if you know when we go live. And again, everyone's pretty much going on an outlap right now who are in the garage. so they can get out and be on the grid so they can do a practice start. Um, Again, if you wanted to continue chatting, again between now and qualification, I think that the stream for quali will be up. It will be up, and you'll be able to chat in there. This stream will eventually shut down. That's how YouTube works, basically. So go there as the preview. Also, jump into Discord. Um, Again, I'm just looking right now. Again, in terms of laps, Verstappen only did 17 laps. I mean, only Haas did less than him, which was 15 and 13. Well, like I should say, sorry, McLaren did 16. So Bottas did 17. Everyone else did about 20 laps around here. And if we look at Ferrari, they did 24, 25, and most of them were on a long, soft race runs. So we're coming to the end right now, and the cars are, if you look on track, they will get to the start line, and you'll see them stack up, and that's because they're gonna do a practice start from there, and then they're gonna go back into the pits. We've got over 500 likes. I want to thank you all for those likes. Again, this is Crash. Again, this has been an FP3, rather uneventful FP3. The only thing that we saw was a couple of people with close calls. So that's a sign that, hey, the track has improved. I mean, we saw a lot of people, but we didn't see the crashes that we saw yesterday. So the rubbering in the track has taken place. We're getting better grip. Yeah. Again, this is the Miami third practice. Next, coming in about, I think. Let me just get correct time for you. So for qualification, that is going to take place at. So it's going to take place at. Make sure track time. So that's 4 p.m. local time. So so for me, track time is 1:30 p.m. So in about 2.5 hours. If I do my math correctly. Yeah, so it'll be about 2.5 hours from now. Q1 will start. Expect us to go live somewhere between a half hour to maybe up to an hour with music, an hour before the session. Yep, I'm still speaking. So I want to thank you for all coming, and we'll see you for quali.